All right, welcome to Elektronfx, and today we'll be teaching you how to use your trading view for your analysis. All right, so if you the first thing you want to do is to go to Google, right? You go to google.com or you search on google.com trading view, right? So when it comes to trading view, just go to trading view, right? Trading view, just search it on Google. Don't need to know so much. Just go to Google and search trading view. You should see it here. So you cannot simply go at once and click on charts, right? Just click on charts and it takes you to the charts on trading view. There are basically two kinds of trading view. They have the one offered by the derivative broker and then the general one, right? So you can find that on your Google search. So when you come to trading view, it should load up, right? Then this is that for trading view made by derivative. You can see the difference. That's quite different. So this is the one by derivative. I can see the link. There is a tradingview.derivative.com. Why? The other one is just tradingview.com. Can you see the difference? So there are basically two types, and they have a similar mode of operation, right? So this one has tradingview.com, while the one by derivative broker has tradingview.derivative.com, right? Derivative is actually one of the brokers that offer what we call synthetic indices. Right, so let's get the picture how to use the trading view application, right? So when your chart has loaded, finished loading, I'll just start step by step on a sequence so I can get this thing, right? So the first thing here, this is my arrow here. Can you see this? So this is the first place I would like to explain. From here, you can have some kind of settings. You can say, this is where you can click on auto save or save. If you want to share, you want to rename, whatever you want to do. I don't really use this often. You want to go to the home. I want to make it the dark color. You want to change the thing from being bright. You want to make it dark. You can change it from this place. You can add keyboard shortcuts. Maybe you want maybe a keyboard shortcuts. You can change the language to whatever language you prefer. You can change the drawing panel, whatever you do, customize them whatever you want. And the next thing you will find there is the arrow. And under this arrow, you'll find how you want your cursor to be. You want to be in a cross, you can change it. You can see the cross on my screen. You can come there to make it a dot. You can see it's a dot now, but I prefer the arrow, right? You want to make it an eraser, you can make it an eraser. You can see it's like an eraser, right? So prefer the arrow. So the arrow can show on my screen. The next thing you have lines, different kinds of lines. You have the trend line, arrow, ray, whatever color you prefer, horizontal ray. And I want to point this out. If you want to make a particular tool your favorite, just come and click on the star here, right? So you can make it your favorite and it will appear down here. You can see this, right? So whenever I click on a favorite tool, it comes down there and it makes it a favorite tool, right? So I don't really use the ray, so I just use the ones I use often, right? All right, so the next thing we have here is the Fibonacci retracement, Fib tools, right? All these are just basically measurement tools, right? Fib retracement tool, extension, the pitchfork, all this. I don't really use this. I only use the Ghana box and then I use the Fib retracement tool, right? So you can see I can even click on it. You can see Fib tool, it appears. You can come to it when you put it there. You can click on this button, this circular stuff here. When you click here, you can format it. So you can click here now, or right click. I can right click here. So I can right click there and click on the settings. I can now edit it to whatever direction I want. So you can feel free to play around. I can reduce, change the color, whatever I want to do with this. So you just come to this circular button, right click, and then you can do whatever you want. If you want to hide it, you want to clone it, you want to bring it to the front, object tray, you want to make it a template, and all of that, right? So the next thing here is the brush, highlighter, rectangle, whatever. They are shape, basically shapes, right? If you want to put a curve, you want to put a path, you want to put an ellipse, you want to put a circle, you want to use a brush like a brush does. You want to draw something on the screen, you know, maybe to highlight something. That's basically what the brush does, right? So let's go to the next thing here, the T2. So you can add text, anchor text, notes, whatever you want, a tweet, a call out, a button. You can just feel free to click on this to see how they operate, right? So I basically use the text and call outs. Maybe if you want to include a price label, like look at this now. Look at this, you can, it actually shows the price of where you click on the mouse on, right? The next thing you have here are the patterns. You have the harmonic patterns, all right? You have the triangle pattern, trade drive, head and shoulder, Elliott wave, and all of that. I don't really use that. I only use the SABCD, right? So next thing you can find there is the long position, short position, forecast, date range, price range, all of this. I only use the long and short for my buy and sell, buy, sell, other stuffs, because I use it for. So the next thing you have here is our symbols. Whatever symbol you like. If you want to use a pencil symbol, an arrow, or whatsoever, you can do that from there. The next thing is the zoom in. If I want to zoom into maybe a particular place, to zoom in to see what's going on there, I click on that, and then the next thing you have here is the ruler. So it's to measure days, to know how many candles are there, how many days it took, like from here to here. You can see it here, it took 28 bars, and then it took 5 days. You can see the volume there, 1.381 million. I can see the percentage increase or decrease, like the market dropped by 0.86% from that point to that point, right? So that's basically what it does is to measure variables in the market. So what is next? We can lock, okay, it's a magnet tool, right? It brings out the, I don't really use this, so you can just click on it to find out what it does. I wouldn't be finding us that now. So next is stay in drawing mode, right? I want to move, because if I click on a drawing tool now, maybe I click on this line, look at this, if I draw a line now, I cannot draw another one. So if I want to continue to keep drawing lines, I have to go and click on stay in drawing mode, and then I can continue drawing lines over and over and over again. Look at this. Can you see that? So it just basically helps me to repeat doing one particular thing or over and over without having to go and click on it from this onset, right? And the next thing we have here is lock all drawing tools. Can lock it as I cannot move it. You can see I can't move it anymore. So it's used to lock your. Look at this. I can't move. I can't move this. It kind of prevents you from moving like this. Fibonacci to, if I lock it, can't move anything here. Can you see this? Can't move anything. So basically to keep your tools in place so you don't move it when you're analyzing, right? So what is this? And then this is, you know what this does? It deletes what's on my screen. So basically that's what it does. It does to delete what's on my screen. And I'm done with this side. I think I'm done with this side, right? So the next thing here, I'll be going from the left to the right now. So this is where you change your pair. You come to that page, you can choose what you want. You want stocks, you want futures, whatever, Forex, crypto, index, bond, economy, whatever you want to do, right? You can come here to choose it. You're free to freestyle this. So you can come to, maybe you want by a particular broker, come to all sources here, click on it, and then I will choose the broker which I want this thing to show on. So I don't really do that, right? So maybe I go to crypto now. I want to see only by Binance, right? So I can just come to all sources and just, type it out. I want to see only crypto by Binance, right? I want to see only the chart from Binance. So you can see it's only by Binance now. Other ones have gone. If I go back to all, you'll see by even other brokers, Bitfinex, Kraken, and all of that. So the next thing here is this plus. And this plus is used to compare. I maybe want to compare a symbol and all of that. If you want to do relative strength analysis and all of that, so this is for comparison. Then the next thing you have are time frames, and I had to choose the time frame. You can come here 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, anywhere you want. You can come to this arrow here, and then you highlight your favorites, right? So you highlight the favorite and all of that, whatever you want to be show up there. So you can just, instead of going all over here to click there, it just highlights here for you. So let's assume now I want start this cursor is reducing. So for all things to just appear there whenever I want, I have to just start it so it will appear there, the time frames I want to see there for easy access. And this is used to change the candle from if you want to use a bar, a candle, a line chart, you can see this is the line chart. If I want to use a candle, whatever I prefer, I like using candles. So there are basically many things to use here, different kinds of charts. And the next thing you can see here is the indicators. So you want to add an indicator, a strategy, or whatever you want to do. I don't really use that. I want to use maybe you want to use a measurement tool to measure volume, all those stuff, chart patterns, or I want to see a kind of, if you want to spot a bearish flag, right? So this helps you to identify all of that. So that is it. Helps you to identify that if you want to spot it, right? So that's basically what it does. It does, sorry. So I want to see something. See if I'll see double top something. So you can see. Can you see that? It helps you to identify those. Look at there was a double top here formed. It helped me to identify those without having to go and look. Right, so there's a double top there. Right, so what basically it does. I'm trying to just check something. I want to say that particular, okay, just patterns. Right, so that is it. Right, so that is it. And choose candlestick pattern, anyone I want. So if I go to candlestick pattern, I'm still trying to specify some candlestick patterns. You see, let's say I just want to say doji. Right, you can see. You show me where dojis are. Can you see it? It's just highlight where there were dojis. There was a doji here. 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 All of that. So it helps you to identify patterns in the markets. Right, that's what basically it does. The next thing here is what? Indicator template. I don't really use this, so you can check that out. The next thing here is create alerts. We want to create alert if you want to alert when price comes here. So I want to create an alert and notify me or the app. If I have the app on my phone, I want to notify when price has come there. I can also create an alert and all of that. So you can have the app of this connected to your trading view account and all of that. So the next thing I have here is a replay. I'm not using the premium trading view. So I can replay a chart, if it's used for backtesting, all of that. So if you want to replay, want to backtest your strategy, you can use that. Now the next thing is the undo. Maybe I do something. Let's assume that I drew something that I don't want to draw. Look at the measure. I drew this, and I want to remove it. I just come and click on the undo. Right. So undo. If I want to redo it, redo. So that's basically it. Then the next thing here is select layout. I don't use that. Next thing is the unnamed. So if I want to name this, if I want to I want to kind of name this particular setup. I can just do that and all of that. So I can turn off auto save to save my chart, turn it on, share it off, right? So as it can test on this one. The next thing here we have is the full screen mode. You want to be in full screen, all of that. I don't use it. Next thing here is to save your chart. So you can save the chart image, you can copy the chart image, you can copy the link. I usually use the link. You can tweet the chart image to be tweeted to your Twitter account. You can open it in a new tab, right? If I first analyzing, if I want to copy my analysis, I want to have a copy of it. I can save the image or I can copy the link, whatever I want, and all of that. So publish, you can publish the idea on the platform, there's platform and all of that. I think I've explained everything there. You can feel free. Now the next thing is this thing right there is auto, right? If I remove the auto now, I can do the screening how I want, right? If I click on the auto, it automatically make the charts to be aligned and on my screen at a angle that is viewable, right? But the difference of auto is that I cannot really go or I cannot scroll up, I cannot scroll down. It has to be at the center. If I take off auto, I can whatever I want to do the charts. Right. So I usually use auto because of to make it simple. Right now, the next thing is if you add this to your watch list, if you want to add an asset to your watch list, maybe you want to add your USD to watch list, I can be watching all Euro USD. So you can come and click the add the symbol to your watch list and all of that. And the next thing this is still alerts. The alerts you said this is news. It kind of gives you the news headlines, right? All those stuff that drops. Next thing data window. I don't use this. I don't see what it's about. Okay. Gives us the open, close, dates, all those things, volume, change, all those stuff. And the next thing we have here is what's this? USH hot list. Yeah, hot list. I don't know what that's about. You can, if you do that, you can use it. You have calendar. I think kind of show where we have important events or something like that. kind of tell you have an important event. Next thing is trade ideas. If I save or publish something to show me. Next thing is public charts, private charts, idle streams, notification, and all of that. So that is basically how to use this. This is basically how to use TradingView. You can see my accounts. So that is basically the important things. So you can feel free to use your hand to freestyle these things. You can test this. Look at the many things down here. You can see stock scanner, text notes, pen editor, strategy tester, all those stuffs. So you can use all of that if you wish, right? So if you wish, you can do all of that. I don't use it. I don't use it. So let me just cover this back. So that's basically how to use TradingView. So if you enjoyed this video, do what to subscribe to our channel to see more content from us. And if you want to be part of our Telegram community, do what to hit the link in the description to join our Telegram community. We also have a mentorship program. If you want to learn how to trade and be profitable, right, to end that cycle of loss on for all, do well to join. And that is all. That is all. So cheers and have a wonderful day.